A rigid tank contains a hot fluid that is cold while being steered by a paddle wheel. Initially, the internal energy of the fluid is 800 kJ. During the cooling process, the fluid loses 500 kJ of heat and the paddle wheel thus 100 kJ of work on the fluid. So determine the final internal energy of the fluid, neglecting the energy stored in the paddle wheel. So in the problem, we have a given figure. So given here. So we have the internal energy. Okay, we have 80 kilojoule, 800 kilojoule. So the fluid loses 500 heat. So the heat is rejected or heat loss, or that is Q out, is 500 kilojoule. So it does the work. So we have the work of the shaft here given 100 kilojoule. So this is the entering energy. We need to find, so the required here is the final state of internal energy. Final. Okay. So we have the internal energy point. The solution, we all know that the change in energy of the system is equal to the system. Sa loob lang muna tayo. The change in kinetic, okay, plus the change in potential, plus the change in internal energy. Since the kinetic energy and potential energy is considered to be negligible because is equal to 0. Kasi yung pack natin is stationary. Stationary siya, hindi siya dyan lang siya. Okay? So, kinetic energy and potential energy changes are 0. Okay? Therefore, yung change na lang ng energy ng system natin is equal to the change in internal energy. But take note that the change in the energy in the system is also equal to the entering energy minus the leaving energy. Okay? So we have here the change in U. What is the entering energy here? So take note the input, yes, is the shaft work here in the fluid. So kumagalaw tayo. Input mo dyan is entering is 1,000, or that is the work of the shaft, minus the leaving. What is the leaving? From the figure, that is the heat loss. Okay? Computing for that, so the change in internal energy now is equal to the shaft work minus the heat transfer. So, internal energy. Pinapanap sa atin yung final state ng internal energy natin. The final internal energy of the fluid. So we have now the shaft work. The shaft work minus the heat loss plus now the entering fluid. Okay. Internal energy of the fluid. So computing for that, we have now the internal energy 0.2, shaft work 100 kilojoule minus the 500 kilojoule plus the internal energy. So 800 plus 100, that is 900 kilojoule minus 500. So the internal energy or the final state of energy of the fluid is 400 400 kilojoule